Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. We'll begin in 60 seconds.
Take the day off with me. Come and take it off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off. Get on trap free. Chopping with my friend right here. That's what I say. The past St. Jack's to ending up to nothing. Everybody loves it with me. Okay, yeah. When your mom cut off your welfare, I was there. Holding you down, mama. Holding you down. When I left you alone, I was there. Everybody knows I was there. You wanna call me out now? Still loving you like I'm loving the sound. Yes, I'll still be there. Them found ass niggas ain't here right now. Who loves you now? And who loves you now? And who loves you now? Take the day off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off. Take the day off with me. Maybe the whole fucking year. Oh, eon. Bitch, I'm fucking prepared. This is my love song when I'm drunk off the beer. I love you, bitch. I'm the...
I thought you'd say a few words so we could take a couple of questions later, maybe. Mark, would you like to say a few words about the company?
Sure. Well, I mean, it's, sorry, should I turn this on?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for hosting us. I mean, this is quite a group to get together. And, I think, all of the companies here are building, just making huge investments in the country in order to build out data centers and infrastructure to power the next wave of innovation. So it's, we don't often get together as the CEOs of the different companies, but it's good to see everyone.
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh, gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, at least $600 billion through 28 in the U.S. Yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it's significant.
That's a lot. Thank you, Mark. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Great to have you. David,
Welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. Just heard a clip a month ago at the President Trump's artificial intelligence CEO, whatever dinner. And obviously you saw who was sitting right next to Donald Trump, none other than Mark Zuckerberg. And then on the other side of Trump was Melania Trump. And then on the other side of Melania was none other than Dr. Gates. Yeah, Dr. Bill Gates, right? He's a doctor, correct? Thought so. Yeah. Yeah, he went and got him a little medical degree sometime that we don't know about. But I wanted to play that clip for you because I wanted to show you by actions, by words, what's actually happening. You can believe this. You don't have to believe it. You can believe whatever narrative you want. I just listen to what these people say. And I've noticed this, that if people don't believe what they see or hear, they're playing it off as, oh, that's fake. That's artificial intelligence. Or that's the deep state. Instead of actually looking at the characters in play. That's all I'm doing. Personally, in 2025, I don't think any politician's trustworthy. And I say that from my own personal experience, having to watch Carmen Maria Montiel stump for the 18th Congressional District seat, which is my district. And see, it's stupid, the circus that they have to go through to get elected. It's insane. Her congressional district wraps all the way around Houston. It goes from the west side to the north side down to the east side. That's just ridiculous. So I'm going to play another clip for you guys so you can hear it for yourselves, okay? I don't create these words. I don't create these narratives. This is not artificial intelligence telling you this. Because there's going to be an alpha AI, an alpha artificial intelligence. It's going to be the penultimate AI. And whoever owns that AI, they're going to be a demigod. They're going to control everything. And that's what this race is. You just heard Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, yeah, by 2028, okay, 2.5 years, they're going to spend upwards of $600 billion for AI. That's just Meta. That doesn't include the Stargate AI project with Sam Altman, Moshe Sun, and Larry Ellison. And then you have Elon Musk with Grok. And what I've just explained to you are the three wealthiest people in the world: Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, and Mark Zuckerberg. Together, they have a combined net worth of $1 trillion. 9 of the 10 wealthiest persons on planet Earth were in Trump's orbit, if not directly in front of him or being appointed to some position within 30 days, pre and post of the inauguration. 9 out of the 10 wealthiest people. They're there for a reason, folks. AI is coming. It's going to be crammed down our throats, whether we like it or not. Now, what does the grand scheme of things look like? Obviously, we know that the two people that were outside of the president and first lady, well, the scuttlebutt is that they're serial killers, allegedly, that they kill people. They've killed people. Maybe not with their own physical bare hands, but it is what it is. How many people got a false narrative from Facebook when y'all posted during the whole pandemic? Huh? How many of you have your accounts shut down? How many got strikes? How many people lost their entire social media platform? This is who's sitting next to Trump. This is who's sitting next to Melania. And Bill Gates is not one of the wealthiest people in the world anymore because he's divested his fortune. But in his place, he has a representative from Microsoft in there. Don't think he doesn't. Just go look who the top 10 wealthiest people in the world are, and they'll tell you everything. So let me get past this dinner. I'm going to play this next video for you. This is from 5 months ago. This is a congressional hearing. Former Facebook executive Sarah Wynne Williams gave a stunning testimony before a Senate committee on Wednesday, accusing the social media giant of working hand in glove with the Chinese government to censor its platforms. All right, y'all ready to hear this? You know, and it sucks because nobody's covering this stuff. Nobody. They're all playing with the new narrative, you know, the whole P. Diddy bullshit, P. Diddy asking for a fucking pardon, the Epstein files. You know, Congress is a joke. Our government's a joke. Criminal justice system is a joke. The world's just laughing at us, folks. And everybody's just going about their busy day like nothing's happening and we're all okay and we're going to be safe and secure. And, you know, the United States has secure borders while record numbers of drugs are being confiscated by law enforcement officials across every level. So obviously we got secure borders. Yeah, that didn't work out very well, did it? All right, folks, here we go.
I saw Meta executives repeatedly undermine US national security and betray American values. They did these things in secret to win favor with Beijing and build an $18 billion business in China. When Beijing demanded that Facebook delete the account of a prominent Chinese dissident living on American soil, they did it. And then lied to Congress when asked about the incident in a Senate hearing. Meta executives ignored warnings that this would provide backdoor access to the Chinese Communist Party, allowing them to intercept the personal data and private messages of American citizens. Meta's internal documents describe their sales pitch for why China should allow them into the market by, quote, helping China increase global influence and promote the China dream. The American people deserve to know the truth. Meta has been willing to compromise its values, sacrifice the security of its users, and undermine American interests to build its China business. These executives, they know the harm that this product does. They don't allow their own teenagers to use the products that Meta develops. I mean, the hypocrisy is at every level. This was a project unlike any other project I worked on during my time at Meta, in that it was so centrally led by Mark Zuckerberg, and he was so personally invested in this project. He learnt Mandarin. He traveled to China more than any other country. He had weekly Mandarin sessions with employees. It's hard to overstate how different this project was to any other project. Mark Zuckerberg pledged himself a free speech champion. Yet I witnessed Meta work hand in glove with the Chinese Communist Party to construct and test custom-built censorship tools that silenced and censored their critics. When Beijing demanded that Facebook delete the account of a prominent Chinese dissident living on American soil, they did it. And then lied to Congress when asked about the incident in a Senate hearing. The willingness to censor was not the only troubling thing I witnessed. I watched as executives decided to provide the Chinese Communist Party with access to Meta user data, including that of Americans. Meta does not dispute these facts. They can't. I have the documents. As recently as this Monday, they claim that they do not operate their services in China. Another lie. In fact, they began offering products and services in China as early as 2014. That hasn't stopped. Their own SEC filings from last year show that China is now Meta's second biggest market. Meanwhile, Meta's AI model, Llama, has contributed significantly to Chinese advances in AI technologies like DeepSeek. Facebook's secret mission to get into China was called Project Aldrin and was restricted to need-to-know staff. There was no bridge too far. Meta built a physical pipeline connecting the United States and China. Meta executives ignored warnings that this would provide backdoor access to the Chinese Communist Party, allowing them to intercept the personal data and private messages of American citizens. The only reason China does not currently have access to US user data through this pipeline is because Congress stepped in. Meta started briefing the Chinese Communist Party as early as 2015. These briefings focused on critical emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence. The explicit goal being to help China outcompete American companies. There's a straight line you can draw from these briefings to the recent revelations that China is developing AI models for military use, relying on Meta's Llama model. Meta's internal documents describe their sales pitch for why China should allow them into the market by, quote, helping China increase global influence and promote the China dream. The truth about what has gone on in China matters.
Was Americans' user data ever compromised? Do they ever plan to compromise American user data in any way? Do you know?
One of the challenges with the servicing a market as big as China was the internet infrastructure that would underpin that. So I mentioned the cable that they joined between the US and China, and that would be very helpful. But in servicing this market, but it would still mean that the service would be slow. So they contemplated using POP servers, and POP servers as a technical data server that brings the data closer to the end user. The challenge with POP servers is that you can't segregate data. It would have American data, it would have Chinese user data, and it would be on Chinese soil.
So I want to just be clear about this. Here in this document, Facebook is talking about making Chinese user data available to the Chinese government because they're going to store that data in China. Is that correct?
Correct.
But when you store that data in China, Americans who exchange messages or other information with Chinese Facebook users, that would mean the Chinese government could get access to the American data as well. Is that correct?
Through the POP servers, potentially, yes.
And Facebook was willing to take that risk?
Yes, there was a lot of discussion about this, and ultimately, yes.
One of the things that part of their value proposition to China was that they would help them, Facebook that is, would help China outcompete other American businesses. Can you just say more about that? I mean, that seems like an extraordinary thing to me. Here you have an American company going to our chief foreign adversary on whom we currently have tariffs of like 10 billion% and saying, hey, we'd love to help you. We would love to help you beat all of these other American companies. That's extraordinary. I mean, what can you tell us about that?
I mean, I'd be happy to provide the documentation. I mean, literally the documents in which they were writing this were called our value proposition to be put before the CCP.
So was information related to artificial intelligence part of these briefings? I know you said that there were some sort of informal discussions, but did Facebook actually brief members of the CCP on artificial intelligence, to your knowledge?
Yes, Senator.
And again, was that a once-off, or was this a regular thing?
Senator, I think this is a great area of investigation for your committee.
So why would, you were at Facebook a long time, why would Facebook want to help China with artificial intelligence? I mean, what's the strategy there, do you think? What do you divine the intent to have been?
I think there are lots of, so I think we've talked about the general focus of the company of wanting to help China. You know, this is over a period of time where China was rapidly trying to increase its own technological expertise and trying to grow had to grow its own homegrown technology company. So it's incredibly valuable to have the brightest minds in the world show you how that technology works, if that was. And then I think there's at the moment, as you're aware, there's a debate in the AI community around whether open source models or closed models are more appropriate. And one of the considerations around that is national security. But it's not clear at this moment whether open source models or closed models will ultimately prevail. And there's a lot of money on the line. In some ways, you could say it's helpful if you want open source to prevail, to have a strong threat from a Chinese model, so that you can say it's really important that America wins this, and we are the American open source option. And I think you can see the way that strategically plays out.
So what you're saying is Facebook's AI model, Llama, I think it's called, that's an open source model, is that right?
Correct.
And I think they just released Llama 4 or something just recently, the last few days. So that's an open source model. Many of the other American competitors, Sam Altman's company, for example, OpenAI, is a closed sourced model, closed source code. So Facebook has a fundamentally different take, an open source model. They're briefing the Chinese government, including CCP officials, on this model, on their information. And then we get the revelation of DeepSeek just a few months ago, China's sort of breakthrough on AI. Do you think that Llama had something to do with DeepSeek? Do you think that information sharing helped lead to DeepSeek?
I think it's been widely reported that the DeepSeek model is in part based on Llama.
And so just playing this out, if China's DeepSeek model, another open source model, I think, right, becomes the chief competitor to these other models in the United States, what you're saying is that it stands to reason, and this is something for us to look into certainly, but it stands to reason that in a way Facebook would benefit from that, because you've got this threat in DeepSeek. Facebook is the only other really major American open source model out there. The others aren't built on that platform. So, Facebook's, their profile is raised, the significance of their model is raised, and maybe they become more important than ever. I mean, does that stand to reason?
I think it's a winner-takes-all situation, and I think that would set up Meta in a very strong position.
One of our former colleagues, Senator Leahy, asked Mark Zuckerberg in 2018 whether Facebook would comply with Chinese censorship and surveillance demand. He even asked if Facebook had built censorship tools to enter the Chinese market, and Zuckerberg responded, I'm quoting, "Because Facebook has been blocked in China since 2009, we are not in a position to know exactly how the government would seek to apply its laws and regulations on content were we permitted to offer our service to Chinese users." Ms. Williams, was that accurate?
That is not accurate. Hundreds of decisions had been made, and by 2018, they'd been in dialogue directly with the Chinese Communist Party for 4 years.
The fact is, by 2018, Facebook built, it even turned on censorship and surveillance tools that it developed for Chinese security officials, correct?
It developed, and those Chinese Communist Party officials tested the censorship tool and would give feedback and say, this needs to change, or we need this, or we need confidence that you can capture images and filter images we don't want seen it. One example is that Facebook was targeting 13 to 17-year-olds. It could identify when they were feeling worthless or helpless or like a failure. And they would take that information and share it with advertisers. One of the things about advertising is advertisers understand that when people don't feel good about themselves, it's often a good time to pitch a product. People are more likely to buy something. And so what the company was doing was letting these advertisers know that these 13 to 17-year-olds were feeling depressed and saying, now's a really good time to serve them an advertisement. Or if a 13-year-old girl would delete a selfie, that's a really good time to try and sell her a beauty product. Or if a 13-year-old girl is...
So let me interrupt right there.
Sure.
If she deleted a selfie, then Facebook was in essence, or Meta, Instagram, they were in essence tracking her activity online.
Absolutely. That
Okay.
was taken as a signal and then shared
Right.
with advertisers.
So they didn't stay given specifically to their app. They traveled in the child's phone.
Absolutely.
Just so you get it. Just so you get it. Let's kick this back. Just so you guys know, so we cover all the dang bases. The previous video we just saw was about 5 months ago in a Senate hearing. This one right here is took place a month ago. And this is the artificial intelligence dinner. There's Tim Cook from Apple right there. There's Meta, Mark Zuckerberg. There's Dr. Gil Gates. And of course, the First Lady and President Trump next to a Chinese spy, maybe? I don't know. Let's go watch this real quick for you guys.
This group of people, they're leading a revolution in business and in genius and in every other word I think you could imagine. There's never been anything like it. The most brilliant people are gathered around this table. This is definitely a high IQ group, and I'm very proud of them. I know all of them indirectly, and I know some of them very well, but I know everybody at the table indirectly through reading about you and studying, knowing a lot about your business, actually. We're making it very easy for you in terms of electric capacity and getting it for you, getting your permits. We're leading China by a lot, by a great amount. And I just wanted to, the press was going a little bit crazy because they saw this group together. So I thought we would let you have a little access, maybe describe some of the great things that you're doing with your company. I know, Mark, you're building some buildings that are as large as Manhattan. That was pretty good, right? It's pretty good. So I thought you'd say a few words, and we could take a couple of questions later, maybe. Mark, would you like to say a few words about the company?
Sure. Well, I mean, it's, sorry, should I turn this on?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for hosting us. And this is quite a group to get together. And, I think, all of the companies here are just making huge investments in the country in order to build out data centers and infrastructure to power the next wave of innovation. So it's, we don't often get together as the CEOs of the different companies, but it's good to see everyone.
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh, gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, at least $600 billion through 28 in the U.S. Yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it's significant.
That's a lot. Thank you, Mark. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Great to have you. David, you've done a wonderful.
don't know if you caught that last part. 600 billion in the United States. He didn't say anything about sending money to China or Taiwan or anywhere else, did he? That's 600 billion invested in the United States of America by Meta through 2028. How much money do you think he's sending over to China, or how much is China sending him, or what's the quid pro quo on that deal? You just heard the whistleblower. You just heard Mark Zuckerberg. You just heard Trump. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm not here to give you legal, medical, financial, or even friendly advice. Remember, I'm just some moron sitting in front of my laptop, just listening and searching and researching. And I listen to the words coming out of people's mouth, and words have meaning. English language is nothing but witchcraft. It's spell crafting, spell casting. That's why so many English words have so many different meanings. And then you get over to the legal realm and they completely have a different meaning. So we need to be prescient that our own government, obviously Congress hates our guts. They don't care anything about us. They don't care about the people. Believe me, they may be in front of a camera talking bullshit about each other, get behind closed doors, and they're buddy-buddy. Absolutely. Don't think they're not. This is all a big game. And we're nothing but pawns in this game. And until we, the people, stand up and take control of our own self-governance, everybody's going to get steamrolled. And when it comes, it's going to come so fast, so quick, that people aren't going to have any time to think or react. They're just going to accept. And statistically, if you remember, whatever the United States population is, just 330 million, 340 million, probably more than that, with all the illegal immigration, but let's just cap it at 340. 270 million of that 340, which means another 70 million, were smart enough not to go get an experimental thing and get some gift card or tickets to go see some pro sports game. 270 million people fell for that. 240 million more fell for it at least twice, some up to 4 or 5 times. Some are still wearing masks. That's how indoctrinated, programmed, institutionalized some of these people are. They're still driving around in their cars wearing masks. It's the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever seen. But it is what it is. First and foremost, take care of your health. Because if you're not healthy, you're not going to survive this anyway. Whatever's coming. And I encourage everybody, get as healthy as you can. Detoxify, detoxify. Cleanse your body, cleanse your mind, your spirit, cleanse everything about you as much as you can, much as you can afford to do. And I'm not trying to put fear in everybody because, it's here. It's coming. There's nothing we can do to stop it. There's too many people that, they're drunk on the damn Kool-Aid. Sorry to say it. Got all these QAnon people still believing these Q posts, still believing that arrests are coming. Hold on. Did you not just hear accusations being lodged against Mark Zuckerberg for lying to Congress? That is a federal felony, folks. Do you see an arrest? Do you see an investigation? Do you see a congressional hearing? You're never, ever, ever going to see the Epstein files. You're never, ever, ever going to see the Epstein videos. You're never, ever, ever going to know what happened on Epstein Island. You're never, ever, ever going to know what happened over in his New Mexico ranch. See if I can go find this clip for you real quick. Let me stop sharing my history. I wasn't going to play this, but this was going to be a really quick video, but come on. Damn, I watch a lot of videos. I actually listen more than I watch. No. Oh, I just put it over here in my Telegram. So let me go find it over there. Oops. There we go. And we're waiting on slow ass YouTube as always. Paste and go. I want to show y'all guys something. Come on. StreamYard. Hang on. I don't know why this thing's doing this. Of course. Try this again. Copy. Paste and go. There we go. All right. Got it.
Kind of like what it's like. And it's hard, it's difficult. And so I've been blessed in that I don't go there alone. I don't live alone. I don't go anywhere alone. They'll destroy you if you live alone. They'll accuse you of everything and anything.
Maybe rewind that.
What's it like to go to work in the Texas State House?
You know, as a Truman said, if you want a friend, go buy a dog.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what it's like. And it's hard, it's difficult. And so I've been blessed in that I don't go there alone. I don't live alone. I don't go anywhere alone. They'll destroy you if you live alone. They'll accuse you of everything and anything. I lived this past session with Nate Shastline. Nate's a
wait. Back up just for 1 sec.
Sure.
What do you mean if you live alone? So your session is how long is the session?
We're in session for 5 months every 2 years,
right.
January through May, and then specials.
So you live north of Houston, but you have to go down to Austin for the session.
You got to live there.
You got to live there. If you live alone, why does it matter if you live alone?
Oh, they'll accuse you of something, or they'll set you up with something.
Weird sex stuff.
Yep.
For real?
For real. And I'm convinced that's how a lot of guys have gotten into trouble. Individuals that I know that came there with the best intentions to do the right thing and now are just part of the problem.
Are you serious?
Completely.
Of course you are. Yeah. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but I am. Also, it's not wise for a man to live alone for 5 months. I mean,
It's not. It's just it's stupid.
It is stupid. I totally agree with that. Let's stop lying
Yeah.
about the way men are. Wow, is that widely known?
Oh, I think it is. Yeah. I mean, there's there's a lot of gossip and stuff, but and I feel badly because I feel like there are some really good people that get accused of it where it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel badly for them, but that's what you sign up for when you go
But
to
it's
Texas
a
House.
means of control. It's a leash that someone
Yeah.
is yanking to keep
Yeah.
people in line.
Yep, completely.
And so you think there are people who arrived with the intent of doing good, draining the swamp,
Yeah.
representing their constituents, who were caught up in some sort of immoral behavior, and that has been used as leverage against them?
Yeah. Yes, I believe that completely.
Really?
So I make a point of just I don't if I go to an event I don't drink. I quit drinking back in 2019. It didn't serve me.
Yes.
It doesn't do anything for you. My wife and I would have a glass of wine or two at dinner, but I just completely gave it up.
Oh, you weren't like a slobbering drunk. You just
No. I'm a cheap date.
Yeah.
So but I never wanted to be seen with beer or wine in my hand. It doesn't serve you at all in any way, shape, or form.
I agree completely, strongly. Yeah, good for you. So, but when you showed up in Austin for your first session, you were aware that you could be subverted.
I don't think I was as aware then. You'd heard about stuff. Is that really true? That can't be true. These guys are really good. They're Republicans. They wouldn't do that. I was completely naive when I first came in. Like 40 of us showed up. We had this group called the No Name Group. We're like, they're going to be so happy that we're here. They're going to love us.
Otis, he loves us.
They're going to love us because we're fighting Republicans. They're going to love us. No. They scorned us.
Really? They being the Republicans who were already there?
Yeah. Yeah. And then no time flat. In fact, I can remember one of them said, we were called for such a time as this, quoting Esther, the book of Esther.
Of course.
And the reason why they hate us now, this is what one of them said. The reason why they hate us is because we remind them of what they used to be. And I look at most of those guys that said that and shook their head like I am, say, yeah, and that's who you are now. You've turned. You're not with us anymore.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2013. When I came in 2013, served for 2 years, and then I left for 4 years. And then I came back in 2019.
But the guys who stayed?
Most all of them went bad.
Really? So did you know that before the current generation, chips and fries were cooked in natural fats like beef tallow? That's how things used to be done. And that's how people looked a little slimmer at the time and ate better than they do now. Well, Masa Chips is bringing that all back. They've created tortilla chip that's not only delicious, I'm putting those down. So if you want to get 5% off your first, Masa is going to be available. So what, apart from sexual blackmail, which you've said is real, and I believe you, what are the other means by which good people become bad people?
You want to be effective, don't you?
Yes.
Tucker, you're here to serve your district. You want to be effective, don't you? Well, you're going to be in the penalty box if you don't become part of the speaker's team. And if you're in the penalty box, you can't pass any legislation. And I'm kind of an outlier in that I get really lucky. Like I passed some legislation. As an example, I picked up a bill to take on critical race theory. And no one had even heard of it when I carried the bill. And then a guy by the name of Dick Weekly from Texans for Lawsuit Reform heard about my bill. And Dick's daughter is a passionate follower of Christ, Allison.
Dick is a good man.
He got behind my bill.
Yeah.
And by God's grace, and I carried that bill in the 87th session. And we passed it into law. It was the best one in the United States. And so, I got that done. And it's like I came home and I said to Babette, I said, we didn't sell out. God proved to me that he could still use me, and I didn't have to sell out to do it. And it made me more passionate that with God, there's a way to get things done, and he can still use you. You don't have to sell your soul to these people. These people are evil. They don't want to do the right thing. They're not concerned about doing the right thing. They're just concerned about holding on to power.
But it's interesting that they say right to you, you want to be effective. So they appeal really to your best instincts, because you do. Any good man wants to be effective, of course. So they don't come to you and say, hey, I've got like hookers and cash for you. They say, no, we can help you be the person you want to be.
Right. You want to be effective, don't you?
Yeah.
In fact, a couple people that were going to vote with us left us at the last, like one guy, he left, he was going to vote for David Cook. And he came in with me as a freshman.
David Cook for speaker.
For speaker. And the last second he switched over and voted for Burroughs. I said, why'd you do that? I mean, I knew. And he said...
He voted with the Democrats.
Yeah. I wanted to be effective for my district. And he ended up getting a committee chairmanship, which these guys love getting committee chairmanships. They love being called chairman. Outside their office, it says Steve Toth, House District 15, and it shows the committees that you serve on. Well, for those guys, it's chairman. That's like a big deal. And these guys love, the being called chairman in the Texas House. It's just, it's just such an ego boost.
Do they end up getting anything done once they make that deal?
No. You pass some legislation, but you sell a little bit of your soul in the midst of it. It's a transaction.
And then you just become with time more corrupt once you've been corrupted.
It's such a slow, Tucker, it's such a slow process. For some guys, it happens a lot quicker than others, but it's a slow process where you just lose your soul.
God, that's so dark.
Yeah.
Does anyone ever come back?
No. I can't ever think of a time when I've seen somebody that's gone over and said, wow, I blew it. I mean, I've seen guys that have had a bad vote that have come back next session and said, gosh, that was a stupid vote. I was part of their team, but they hadn't sold their soul. They made a bad vote. And then they come back the next session. Yeah, I've seen that, but none that have fully gone over, become chairman, and lost their soul and come back. No.
Have you ever seen a really honest man of integrity get rewarded for that, become chairman of a committee?
No, we're not. They want you to become... They absolutely want you to go there and lose your sense of conviction, your holy discontent that you come there with to change. They don't want you to change anything. Your desire to change is what puts them in jeopardy of losing their authority and their power.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.
As I've said this over and over and over and over again, what is actually happening to these politicians once they do get into office. Now, remember, at the very beginning, I explained to you, what my friend Carmen is going through here in Houston, having to get elected. When she ran in 2022, I believe it was 2022, against Sheila Jackson Lee, I was going to run because my district is so shitty. It's freaking the ghetto of the ghettos. I mean, it's horrible. By the way, they found another body in the bayou today or yesterday. So 16, I think, total for this year. That it takes so much, and you have to sacrifice so much, and you have to accept so much, and you have to bargain to get money to support you so you can get on this campaign trail and go stump to get elected. Now you get elected. Boom, you go off to DC. You go off to the swamp, to a cesspool. And you're eager to get involved in exactly what you just heard. They want to become chairpersons over these different committees, or they want to be appointed to the committees. So they're going to suck up to whoever they want, because if they already have a narrative that they have to achieve because of their donors, then they got to get in there and go find who they need to move with. And then they get compromised. They put themselves in a certain situation where they get blackmailed. Now they're compromised. So that first couple years, they're getting acclimated into the whole machinations. They're becoming wealthier. They're doing these investments through insider trading their knowledge by being in the government. Then it's political survival. You have to learn to lie to your constituents to let them believe that everything is A-OK in Washington, D.C., and we're working for you, when actually they're not. So then when that second cycle is completed, then they go into the greed and ego and pride. And that's when they become a career politician. That's when they've been completely compromised. This goes all the way to the top, folks. And it doesn't matter on what level, whether you're in a city, a town, a county, a parish, a state, a territory, even the federal government. Just listen to what these folks are telling you. Listen to their agenda. They're telling you what they want to do. These people are so wealthy that there's nothing that can stop them. They can pay a hooker $100,000 to go compromise somebody. Abso-fucking-lutely. So don't think for a minute that, they're not running honeypots, that P. Diddy, Epstein, and there are many, many, many more that you don't even know about. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The Trump administration ain't going to do anything. They're just going to do a bunch of political rhetoric, some theatrics to make you think that they're doing something good for the country, when in fact they're part of the problem. This entire country needs to be cleaned up from the bottom all the way to the top. And unless you folks harmonize, put down your barriers, your firewalls, your paywalls, your pride, your ego, your greed, and assimilate these different entities, the patriots who really want change, who really want to live free, who do not want a tyrannical, parasitic, juvenile, delinquent bully of a government that cares nothing about you. It's only there for its own existence, its own survival. Why do you think they just passed 800 new laws in Texas? Who in the world can go learn 800 new laws and apply them in their life? Nobody. Nobody's going to do that. For one, the way the laws are written by these bar attorneys who become politicians are written so ambiguously that, it allows the courts, it allows judicial intervention, lawfare from the bench, because it allows these judges to look at these ambiguous statutes and go, oh, okay, well, we'll go this way. Oh, no, we're going to go this way. Yeah, good law, bad law, positive law, negative law. These politicians don't give a rat's ass about you. We just listen, watch the Texas legislature dance around for 5 freaking months and get nothing done. Went into special session, and what happened? The Democrats all ran off. Did you see one arrest? No. Did you see a posse go looking for them and hunt them down and arrest them? No. Because they're all in the same party, the same group, the same cult, the same clique. You remember when you're back in school, high school, elementary school, middle school, junior high school, and there was the clique. You could never get in the clique. Yeah. They're the clique, and you ain't in it. And you folks keep electing these people over and over and over. You keep supporting these people. You keep sending them your money. You keep out there campaigning for them. And most of them don't know what the hell is going on. I've tried to wake up Carmen about AI. Hey, AI is coming, girl. It's going to take over everything. And she's like, well, I don't want a communist country because I'm from Venezuela. It's already a communist country. They did that decades ago. And they're still here. I just showed you a direct link between Donald Trump, Mark Zuckerberg, and the communist China government. In so much that Mark Zuckerberg learned Mandarin so he could directly speak to Chinese. If that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what else I can tell you. I don't know what else I can do. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I just want you to hear what these people say, listen to the facts, and use your own judgment. If you have any left, if you have just a modicum of common sense left in you, you can see the big picture that we are being sold out. AI is coming. AI. We thought it was an eyeball, but no, it's a capital I. It's artificial intelligence. That's what's going to rule the world. That's where you're going to have a central bank digital currency. You're going to have a social credit score. It's going to be a police surveillance state. Everything that you do, say, eat, shit, fart, smoke, drink, fuck, fight, all documented. And I'm gonna share a personal experience that I had the other day. Okay. Let me finish writing this post to Brian. All right. It's the end of summer, and generally from the end, it's summertime in Houston all year round, actually. But at the end of the summer, I usually go to thrift stores and I buy a whole, new package of shorts because I've worn some out, stained them, got holes in them, et cetera, et cetera. And while I was in the thrift store, I was going through some pants because their shorts are already gone. And I saw this brand, and I'd never heard of this brand before. And I actually did a double take because the brand had a little red tag on it, and it looked very similar to the Levi's red tag that they put on their products. So when I saw it, I was like, that didn't say Levi's. What did it say? So I did a double take on it and actually went and read the label. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even say it out loud. I just read it, saw it with my eyes. I go home, and I'm at home and I'm scrolling through Facebook. And of course, now that I want it, it's not going to show up. Because it knows I'm talking about it. It's like, oh, no, go hide it, pull it. pop up. Give me just a second. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this brand. I had never heard of it. Obviously now they don't want to put it up, but I'll just do a search. So I had never seen this brand. I'm trying to find a copy of their little logo so you can see it. So you can see what caught my eye. Come on, man. Who's doing y'all's advertising? Well, that's kind of a picture. So you can see on his butt right over here, he's got this little red tag. But it says Red Cap, K-A-P. There you go. That's a little better picture right there on the gloves. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I've never seen this ad pop up on my Facebook feed ever. Never heard of it. And I got home and boom, I start scrolling and boom, these ads start popping up for Red Cap. I'm like, how did that happen? Because there aren't any cameras in the thrift store. I don't know. Can't explain it. You know, is it a coincidence? Who knows? I don't know. But I hope you learned something from this video. Share this video with as many people as you can to put the word out that, hey, you know, look, folks, if you're trusting DC and Mar-a-Lago and you think Trump's going to come save this country and make America great again, I've got news for you, folks. And it's not fake news. It's actually their own words. So you put it together. Tonight, I will have Wesley Keith Mullings on the show. We will be discussing the medical bond, health bond, which covers your, medical, vision, dental, hospice care. If you have an elderly relative that needs some type of assistance, hospice care, assisted living, 24-hour nursing, there you go. Pre-existing conditions, no problem. So tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time for Wesley. We're going to go over that, take a deep dive. And I have no comments except one, conspiratory. Hello. Yep, that's what I try to do for you guys. Turn stuff on so you can listen to it. And if you want to go back and actually watch it and pause it and stop it, you can. That's why I like to read everything. So thank you for coming and hanging out with me and spending your time with me, because it costs money. Time, money, and energy. I believe that is everything that I need to cover on this video. Comments, there we go. Those of you who need a trust class, they are now $25, $24.99 in the Fearless Floyd store, fearlessfloydshow.com store. I'll get it out. Yeah, $25. That's a revocable living trust class, irrevocable foreign trust class, private membership association class, all about deeds, and the mortgage and foreclosure class. 6 classes, $25 each. If you take the class, it has all the instruments that you will need to create your trust. So, and you're also in a private Telegram room where you have 24/7, 365 access on the floor and myself to answer your questions. So you kind of get free consultation with that class. So if you want to do that, there you go. If you want to buy the books, obviously, the books are coming up. You'll see them. I don't have to show them to you. I'll be back tonight at 8, and I'll be doing a new series with my buddy Juan. Y'all need to tune in for that. He is a very knowledgeable guy about everything conspiratorial. He goes way, 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 way deep. Ancient history. So I'll have him on soon. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Peace in the Middle East. God bless you. If I don't see you before the end of the week, y'all have a happy and safe weekend. If you're in Houston, Texas, and you need something to do for Halloween, hit me up. I'll turn you on to a magnificent Halloween party. Costumes, masquerades, catering, open bar. So hit me up. We'll go have fun for Halloween. I'm going as a Galveston lifeguard because I'm going to, well, it was either that or be Captain Save-A-Ho. So I decided I was going to be a lifeguard and go save lives. So anybody in distress, I'm going to be there for them. Looking to give some mouth. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, everybody. Outro's coming up. If you don't want to stick around for the next 4 minutes or until I do a new outro that's a little bit shorter. Thank you, everybody. If you're in Florida, the Super Soldier Activation Conference is ongoing. It started today. It runs through Sunday, the 12th. It is in Orlando, Florida, at the resort. Noel he should be there by now. And Kiki Winters from the Sky Pony Gallery will be there. She'll be doing a stand-up routine. There'll be a host of other people. I was going to go, but I decided to do something else. So, thank you, everybody. Y'all have a great week.
Yeah. You gotta bust past, don't catch no feelings. I come through with the style that's always revealing. From the block like the TikTok, don't stop. I was at Shorty, you know she was non-stop. I had the hot plot, chilling like a real god. Everybody know Big One was a show shot. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. It goes on and on, ain't no fucking questions why. The gangster of love, get the real fucking supply. What? She came through, giving me more than I can tell you. Everybody knows the next level. I'm so clever. Take the day off. Take the day off. Yeah. Get high on your own supply. Feel like a dime when you do or die. Just get high on my own supply. Cold do or die when I'm feeling like why. Choose a dime piece. Yes, one of a kind. Holler at me, I was one of a kind. We had a bill, throw the shoes to the side. Come on, throw them shoes to the side. Take the day off with me. Come and take it off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off. Get on trap free. Trapping with my hand right here. That's what I say. The past set jacks to ending up to nothing. Everybody loves it with me. Okay, yeah. When mom cut off your welfare, I was there. Holding you down, mama. Holding you down. When I left you alone, I was there. Everybody knows I was there. You wanna call me out now? Still loving you like I'm loving the sound. Yes, I'll still be there. Them found ass niggas ain't here right now. Who loves you now? And who loves you now? And who loves you now? Take the day off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off with me. Take the day off. Take the day off with me. Maybe the whole fucking year. Oh, Eon, bitch, I'm fucking prepared. This is my love song when I'm drunk off the beer. I love you, bitch. I'm the. Yeah. Take the day off. Cause that fucking 9 to 5 sucks. Take the day off. Opportunity. What? Take the day off. Take the day off. Start from the beginning. Yeah. You gotta bust past, don't catch no feelings. I come through with the style that's always revealing. From the block like the tick-tock, don't stop. I was at shorty, you know she was non-stop. I had the hot pot, chilling like a real god. Everybody know Big One was a show shot. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. You get high with the Don, here's the real supply. It goes on and on, ain't no fucking questions why. The gangster of love, get the real fucking supply. What? She came through, giving me more than I can tell you. Everybody knows the next level, I'm so clever. Take the day off. Take the day off. Yeah. Get high on your own supply. Feel like a dime when you do or die. Just get high on my own supply. Cold do or die when I'm feeling like why. Choose a dime piece. Yes, one of a kind. Holler at me, I was one of a kind. We had a bill, throw the shoes to the side. Come on, throw them shoes to the side.